What's up? My name is Richie, and today I have 5 glitches, and it's a mix of glitches and mechanics that are super helpful in Fortnite Creative. And with these, you can create some really cool stuff. If you follow longer on my channel, you probably know all of these already. But if you're not, you probably learned something new today. And also, question of the day is, if there would be one item from Battle Royale which you could get in Fortnite Creative, which would it be? I think for me, it would definitely be like the cars would be very cool, or the henchmen. I mean, between these, probably the henchmen more, but let me know what you think. And with that being said, let's go into it. Alright, so starting with the first one is basically how we can get this guy over here. So we can have like little speedy bot over here, and we can have a lot of other cool things. So let's go into it on how to make this. So you can do this trick, or this glitch, you can say, with basically anything that has to be placed on a building block. So for example, obviously the sentry, the traps, the eyes, the bouncer, the speed booster, and all these kind of things. And you can basically do that with anything of them. Not all work, most of them, but not all of them. And you can turn the bottom part of it kind of like invisible. And for that, we need a trick tile. So for the trick tile, there's basically nothing too important here, besides of obviously you can put the activation delay to none, which obviously just makes it faster to activate, and then you can give it a channel, but you can also just activate it via like a player jumping next to it. And then you want to find something that, as already said, is something like this. So to get the bot moving, we have to take a few things in consideration. The first thing is that we need to stay in the range of 100 meters, and we have to put the target style to proximity. That basically means as soon as the game starts, if we're in a range of 100 meters, the bot will detect us, which is very important because the bot has to move before it falls down. So if it then falls down, we can put down some speed boosters here, and it will fall down and fly over here. The bot will basically only interact with these two. I tried out all of these other things like the bouncer or something. They do not work at this point. So maybe in the future they work for some reason or whatever, but they currently not work. So the only thing that can move the bot is the actual speed boosts. So if we then start the game, you can see the bot is already targeting us, and we just have to go here and jump here, and the bot will fall down and immediately attack us. Alright, so to give you guys a quick rundown of everything that works and does not work, obviously we saw the sentry works. The poison trap we can fly through, works perfectly fine. The normal trap works as well. The ice thingy here also works, super annoying. The ice also works, which is super cool, so you can just fly through it. The bouncer does not work, you cannot fly through it, but obviously the bouncer still works. The speed boost also works. The speed modulator does not work, but obviously still works like this. The jump pad is not invisible, but it is kind of floating, which I think is super cool. The player spawn does not work, but it's also floating. Checkpoint for some reason works, so you can fly through it, and it also activates as a checkpoint. So this one right here is the team inventory device, also works, but it's also invisible, so you can use that for whatever you want. The timer also works, it's also invisible. The item spawner plate, which is the Walmart version of the item spawner, also works, and you can also turn that invisible as well. And the scoreboard, which nobody uses anymore, also works, so it's kind of floating. So you can see you can create some really cool stuff with this, and especially for like traps and like where you have like secret paths or whatever, where you can just kind of fly through this. There's some super unique stuff which you can do with this. Okay, moving on, we have 2 unreleased props which are not in any galleries, but you can find them in one certain island. I'll show you obviously which one in a second. But you can get these, which are the trash can and the toilet, where you can hide in it. Obviously they don't teleport you like in the game. These are just the hiding ones. But you can get them in one certain island, but you cannot get them in any gallery, which is kind of confusing. But I'll show you guys obviously how you can get them. So to get them, you have to go into your game creation and then create a new island, and then go into the Fortilla island and confirm it, and then obviously start the island. As you can see, if you just fly around this island a little bit, you can find these toilets and the trash cans all over the island. And all you have to do, basically, you can see these are the working ones, and you can only find them in this particular island. And how you can get them to other islands is basically by pulling out your phone and then pressing any number in the hotbar, like for example 4, and you can see down here that the 4 is filled with the toilet. And now you can just go back to your hub and then just hop in any of your island, pull out your phone again, and then you can see if I press 4, we can pull it down and I can jump into it, which is amazing. Obviously they will probably get released soon with any kind of gallery. But for now, it's cool to have them, and also they can make some pretty unique stuff. But let's move on to the next one. All right, moving on to the next one, I'll show you guys on how you can leave your island. And for that, you basically need to build up a full tower to the top of your island, so where you can see this little barrier over here. And then basically all you have to do is put down, so we can do this over here again, make something like this, and then throw a present. You can find them under consumables, and then you go down and you can see it over here. Just equip it, take one out, and then throw it here. And the next thing you want to do is then place a ramp in front of it, and you want to go very close to the edge, and you almost want to like stand with half of your body outside of the thing. Make sure that you still have the starting button. You can see if I walk a little bit further like this, you can see I don't have the starting button anymore. So we want to stand out with almost our full body outside of the thing without having the start button to disappear. So something like this. And what we then need to do is very important. We need to go into our game settings, and we need to change two settings. So the two things that we need to change is the spawn location. We need to change that to current location. So you can see here, current location. And we also have to change the post-game location to pre-game location. That is important because we also can change that to off, so we don't have to wait 3 seconds. That is important because we need to spawn at the same point where we leave off. So you can see here, if I start the game now, and that is also very important. If you're not flying, you made something wrong. So what you can do now, you can see that I can end the game right now, which I'm going to do, and then I walk forward on this present, which is very important. If we wait for the island to restore, you can see that I'm outside of the island. And for those of you who played creative a little bit, you know that you cannot fly outside of the area. And I can also build here, and I can pick up stuff, whatever. I can, get stuff here, which is also not possible usually. So what you can do with this is basically you can go and fly to other islands and pick up stuff there. So you can see here that I'm currently flying towards this thing here. And the fun part is that this is actually the hub. So if I go very close to this right now, you can see it start loading in, and you can see that this is the current hub, which currently is in the game. So you can see here that I can go very close to this. So you can see I can go very close, but I cannot go through this barrier because otherwise I will just teleport into the hub actually. But you can see that I can just pick up stuff here, and I can, put it to my hotbar, and oh wait, I don't want that. So you can see that I put that item into my hotbar, and that is basically how you can do all that kind of stuff. So you can see if I go inside of here, for some reason, I'm going to spawn back to the hub, which is kind of cool. But keep that in mind, you cannot touch any barriers, otherwise you will reset your whole process. Moving on to the next one, we are going to create the first person glitch. And how you can do this is basically, you need one particular gallery, which is in the top secret category over here, and then you have to go to the shark prop gallery. So if you open the shark prop gallery, you can see down here there is the helipad, and we can pick that out, and we can place it on our island. And you can already see that as soon as I go inside of here, I kind of start going into first person. So we can make this obviously a lot bigger and then turn it obviously, and you can see that you can have basically like full game modes inside of these little areas. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to go here and copy and paste it a bunch of times very close to each other, so you can create like a very thick first person mode. And I know a lot of you guys probably already know this, but there's always some people which don't know this, and they just see one video and they, I want to include this here. So let's move on to the last one. So for the last one, we have the infinite item spawning, which is not really infinite because at some point it stops. But until we get to that point, it is kind of funny. So you can really troll your friends or just have some ridiculous amounts of rocket launchers on your map. So what you need to do, and I know a lot of you guys probably don't know what this option is because nobody uses this, and it is continuously spawn items. So you have to turn it on in the item spawner. So one thing which you should also do is turn the time before first spawn to instant and the time between spawns also to instant. And if we start the game, you can see that we get quite a few rocket launchers, and we can shoot this annoying bot over there, which is, it could be quite funny. And I think it stops at a certain rate. Yeah, you can see that it stops at a certain rate, but it is still like a huge amount of rocket launchers, and you can create some really cool stuff with this. And that is it with the video. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you could learn something new today. And, you know, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys hopefully back in my next video. Bye.